He's got me. I fully buy it.
Points.
Damn.
Great point.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
Oh.
I don't want it to be.
What's going on, Reject Nation? Greg and John here. It's Saturday, the day after our Wandavision episode 6 reaction went up. So you know what that means? It's time to watch the master at work, Eric Voss from New Rockstar's Easter egg breakdown of episode 6. And you know what? It's a thick one. It's a long one. He's got
girth.
Let's do this. Are you making a peanut?
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of WandaVision Episode 6, a terrifying Halloween with Wanda's hex warping the whole world into a creepy clown maze. The Weekend.
They're all mutants.
Damn. For all the visual clues and details that you might have missed, and just try to help us figure out Wanda the is going on. Let's get started. And again, we gotta start with the previously on segment. It calls back the real weird MCU Pietro's death from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It's the first of many examples this episode telling us that the Evan Peters Pietro is not actually a recast, as Marvel has done before, but that this guy is not Pietro. As the episode begins, we find ourselves in this early 2000s era with graphics, text, punk music, all inspired by Malcolm in the Middle.
Unfair. Probably can't include the audio of that.
Along with its trope of kids talking directly to camera. During the intro, Vision's newspaper has an ad for Westview Appliances' otherworldly deals and a flying saucer hovering overhead. This reflects the mentions of the lights visible over Westview in the newspaper last week and Vision's very first line in this series.
My wife and a flying saucers.
I see all of this as what Vision was intended to be by Hayward, an appliance that he hoped to weaponize against extraterrestrial threats.
Shifted away from manned missions and refocused on robotics.
Oh, okay. So that's what Hayward's plan
Like it
is.
says on the door. The world's not the same as you left it. Space is now full of unexpected threats.
Agnes has been added to the opening credits, wearing pants with naughty and rhinestones on the butt. Now, Agnes, of course, has always been playfully naughty, but even more in this episode, we are seeing her even greater, possibly villainous importance. Pietro has also been added to the credits as himself, as if to say these others are actors playing roles, but this guy is a celebrity guest star who's not playing the part of Pietro, but just kind of screwing around as himself. And
oh, damn.
It's a small but significant detail.
Yeah, I mean, it stood out to me when we were doing our reaction to it. I noticed that it did say as himself. I didn't know what to really make of it. And thought they were just trying to throw us for some loop on something, but I feel like he's onto something there. He's someone who's not under any manipulation at all.
Maybe he has
what? Damn, it's so confusing.
And who is that self? You probably know where I'm going, but we'll get there. The opening image of the episode depicts a ghost, and I actually think the alive or dead status of these Westview residents is now up for debate this Halloween. Billy wears a red cape and a blue headband, the wardrobe of Wiccan in the comics. Actually, you'll notice Wanda, Vision, Pietro, Tommy, they all match their comics counterparts with their Halloween costumes. The kids debate the true meaning of Halloween.
Halloween's a magical holiday, all about family, friends, and the thrill of getting to be someone else for a day. Wrong. Halloween's about candy. And scaring people, but mostly candy.
Yeah, the thrill of getting to be someone else for a day kind of sounds like what this mystery figure is doing as Pietro. He looks false because this is essentially a Halloween costume version of the real thing. Tommy's milk carton reads Maple Hill Organic, milk the way nature intended from pasture-raised cows. Definitely a step up from Bova milk in episode 2. Bova being the bovine genetic creation of the High Evolutionary who nursed Wanda and Pietro in the comics. These boys play Dance Dance Revolution on floor mats. Takes me back.
With
and of
my
course,
favorite
my go-to
song.
track, Smile DK's Butterfly.
Yes,
You know,
Smile
those
DK.
baby little butterflies that Wanda brought to life. Oh crap, I'm becoming that meme. People keep tweeting me. Hey, by the way, if you want to extend this nerdy conversation, you can join us on New Rockstar's official Discord.
Do it, guys. Patreon.com/New
Billy
Rockstars.
wears these tiger slippers, kind of like that toy tiger we saw last
What is
week.
the meaning of the
They
tiger?
don't hit mat sensors hard enough in slippers. No wonder why they're both missing. Don't judge me. This was my primary cardio as a 12-year-old.
It really was my cardio too when I
You
was
were
a kid.
so good at that.
I was
terrible.
I would compete with people. I could go to the arcade.
Pietro snores on the couch, but as the boys talk about him, they use this great split focus technique. It keeps Pietro in focus in the foreground while the boys talk in focus in the background.
But what does it mean,
Keep your eye
Eric?
on Pietro. He is awake, eyes open, actively listening, but continues to deceptively snore.
You scared? He's her uncle.
Yeah,
Why
but
would
then
I
he
be
messes
scared?
with them.
And Tommy says,
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're secretly afraid he's a vampire.
Billy is a telepath sorcerer like his mama, so he's likely onto something, suspecting Pietro's
Oh,
dark supernatural nature. Listen what
True.
Blood is thicker than water, meaning family bonds are the strongest. Notice how Pietro tries to replace Vision as a father figure.
Big guy is a conflict, twins need a father figure for the night. Don't sweat it, sis. I got the old XY chromosome.
Yeah, and Pietro did not like Vision punching him in the shoulder there. And then after Vision awkwardly kisses Wanda and then leaves, look at
Damn.
Pietro's face there. Yeah, these daddies are in competition.
Oh,
now, Pietro
shit.
mocks her Sokovian fortune teller
Oh,
costume.
damn.
Worse than the costumes Mom made us the year we got typhus.
Sokovia is an awful place.
Whoa, flashback to Sokovia. I love these Soviet-era propaganda posters for rocket science and nuclear energy. Now, you could say maybe Pietro could be dressed like Nick Fury, Wanda like Black Widow, but I don't know. When these people were kids, neither Fury nor
Why would they do that?
widely known. Also,
That's just for us.
Halloween is not really celebrated in Eastern Europe, so when Wanda doesn't remember this, it's probably because it never happened.
Right.
Now, it's a joke in the context of a sitcom, but it is a lie in the context of Pietro. WandaVision arguing, Billy tells us,
Mom and Dad have been not fighting, just like different.
And Quicksilver's
Again,
feeding into
Pietro
that.
is looking over
So
at him.
intense.
He can perceive past the context of the sitcom reality because Pietro is not under Wanda's hex. Wanda even senses this. Notice how she locks the door after Vision leaves, something maybe that she felt like she should have done to keep Pietro out last episode, and it leads to this.
Don't do that!
Yeah, Pietro is not a calming presence here. He is bad news. He has a mom tattoo on his arm.
Okay, wait a minute. I didn't even pick up on that. Like, I knew that he might be perceived as some type of threat to Wanda, but it seems like he wants to get Vision out of the picture. I didn't pick up on any of these actual little details that he was paying attention to, but Evan Peters is a very specific performer. And he can be subtle when the right time calls for it, so I could see these subtle nuances as an exceptional detail, too. He doesn't want Vision in the picture, and he just wants it to be all about family. And I love the idea that they're using sitcom jokes as a disguise.
Because it
Yeah.
really muddies the water.
Yeah.
You're like, is this just a shtick or is this, an actual character beat that's gonna develop further?
Oh damn! Oh, that's nuts! I
know.
didn't see that. I
And all the
didn't see
little
that's
looks.
coming. Yeah. Shit! But I believe that. I do. That's too many little details.
He has a mom tattoo on his arm. Some are saying this could be for Multiverse of Madness. Some people actually thought it said HOM, but no, it is mom. How do I know? Because Evan Peters has his tattoo already. So can things that
okay.
already existed before the script was written be Easter eggs? Sure.
He's just
So
playing
Storm
Evan
recovers
Peters.
a drone that Wanda threw at them, and this is stamped with Stark Industries. This is a piece of 80s weapon tech that the company used to make before Tony's change of heart. And like that Stark toaster, it is exactly the kind of Stark hardware that would have triggered Wanda's memory of that Stark bombshell. And
Right,
traumatized her and
right.
Pietro. Hayward says,
Maximoff is never going to negotiate with us. We take her out, this whole nightmare ends.
this is one of 2 mentions of the word nightmare this episode.
It's a pretty big leap from giving people nightmares and shooting red wiggly woos out here.
The Marvel demonic entity Nightmare is believed to be a possible villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and possibly the big bad behind all of Westview here. It's impossible, but Nightmare feeds off of people as they sleep. And as we saw from Wanda's exterior confrontation last episode, she is not
ain't
asleep during
asleep.
all this. So I think we can rule out Nightmare, just because it's not as specific as those Grim Reaper sightings or the devil stuff. Hayward calls out Monica's insubordination.
Constantly advocating on behalf of superpowered individuals. Yes, I know your history with Carol Danvers. And all you people who left still have the luxury of optimism.
Yeah, it's made to sound like it's embarrassing to be associated with Captain Marvel, as if there was some incident before the blip.
Freaking Brie Larson.
That explains why Fury was reluctant to summon Captain Marvel every other time Earth was under attack. Perhaps Captain Marvel was looked at as a pariah for prioritizing all these other worlds instead of Terra, C-53, Earth. So then they go trick-or-treating. Unleash Hell, Demon Spawn! Whoa, unleash hell, demon spawn. You know I keep bringing up Mephisto, but this is why. In the comics, Wanda's children are actually revealed to be pieces of Mephisto's soul, demon
yes.
spawn. And as I've been saying these past 7 days since finding that gray corpse arm in the mirror, this ain't Pietro. This is an imposter wearing a Pietro Halloween costume, just with a bit of stunt casting by Marvel using a Quicksilver from a separate
Is that
film
all
franchise.
you really think it
Might
is?
give us the multiverse, might give us mutants, but this guy is a red herring, a pickled red herring. And now this Mephisto has come to reclaim these children born with Wanda's magic. So he
But you were on Twitter recently, and you said that you're beginning to believe that Mephisto will actually not show up in this series, and that they might just. I don't think you said they would just be nods, but you did say that you were starting to think that he might not actually show up in this series. So what is it, Eric Voss? I don't know. I feel like it's a Quicksilver hybrid. I think it's a slam bam, both of them combined in some way.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll see. Can't just be stunt casting. Come on. I don't want it to just be that.
to reclaim these children born with Wanda's magic so he can reap the benefits. And he's doing it by wearing the disguise of Wanda's dead brother. Wanda tests him here.
What was the name of that kid who was always trying to steal your boots? He had the skin thing.
Now you could see this as a nod to the facial scarring of Victor Von Doom. I don't know, maybe in the MCU he might hail from Sokovia instead of Liberia. I hope they do have Liberia though. I like these fake places. I love this. In the background there's a dude with a Jason mask and a Freddy shirt. He's essentially a walking Freddy versus Jason. Nice. This dude started the scene chatting with the pirate and the jockey, but for the rest of the scene, he just kind of aimlessly stands by himself. That would be me.
No friends.
Conversations. Though he is not as creepy as this hook-nosed figure behind Wanda later. Now, I thought this was a mannequin, but look down there. That is a human leg. This looks like someone pretending to be a mannequin, just waiting to pop out and scare people, but they never do, which is even scarier. Now, Pietro calls Westview Shangri-La, maybe a nod to the immortal Himalayan refuge founded by the Vision in the comics, but maybe just used generally to refer to James Hilton's Lost Horizon for the mythical Tibetan
It's also
kingdom.
a damn good movie.
Actually, that mention of Tibet is interesting, because I thought we're not allowed to mention anything that'll piss off China. If Tibet can be on Disney Plus, Mephisto can be on Disney Plus, my friends.
Oh, okay. There goes that tweet conversation.
Well, a lot of dead characters be coming back. I mean,
Kick-ass.
So Kick-Ass was a 2010 superhero movie in which Evan Peters co-starred with Aaron Taylor Johnson. And the way Wanda says it, it's almost as if she remembers seeing those two Pietros in the movie.
Yeah,
that's weird. Her reports back each of Pietro's vandalizations before they happen.
All the canon has disappeared.
All the canon has disappeared.
And then as some of the people get silly stringed, they're frozen. It's like they're already glitching, like the people on the other side of town. I'm telling you, Pietro does not abide by the rules of this hex. He is a virus in the machine, wreaking havoc. Herb asks,
Do you want something changed?
as we saw in episode 3, Herb seems to be a bit more aware of what is going on in Westview. Let's keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, Vision sees this woman stuck on a loop, setting up decoration. Behind her, her partner is also on a loop, but look at their motion. They have each been looped in post-production.
I didn't even notice the husband.
You can actually see the dividing line in the frame.
Did you notice the husband before?
no, I knew I saw it back there, but I didn't see the repetition.
CGI'd in a shadow for the husband that goes across that dividing line just to make it all feel like it's part of one shot, even though there's no light on him that would cast this kind of shadow. So that plus this sad tear just makes all this feel so unsettling, letting us know that something's inherently wrong here. But then this terrifying commercial for Yo Magic Yogurt. Now throughout these episodes, the commercials reflect a different stage of Wanda's trauma. And now this is Wanda starving emotionally, alone in the void. A claymation depiction of what Wanda was trying to convey to Pietro later in the episode. Wanda needs her magic to survive, or else she will rot into a corpse like her loved ones. So, like a vulnerable child, she keeps trying to feed on this magic, even when that magic is brought to her by a sharp-toothed outside predator. And notice this little boy has already eaten a fish. Earlier, Wanda threatened to turn Pietro.
Wait a minute. That commercial lineup does make sense if Quicksilver is really not Quicksilver. As we discussed in our reaction, that I thought it just meant more so about like how Vision is a corpse and she's been using magic to keep Vision alive, using the magic to keep him alive. I didn't really quite get the justification of the shark. I just thought it was a riff on the commercial, on the type of commercials that they were back then.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is that. I kind of took that as like predatory forces feeding off of her magic, not necessarily Pietro, Quicksilver, whatever that is, but just, the forces at work that are probably probably leeching off of her or poisoning her in some way, aiding in this.
I just have a hard time believing Quicksilver is just purely some Mephisto disguise. I have a hard time just believing that.
Yeah.
And notice this little boy has already eaten a fish. Earlier, Wanda threatened to turn Pietro into a pickled herring. And in the cutaway, they were given one fish. So maybe for Wanda, a single fish could represent that kind of line between starvation and survival. The Incredibles and the Parent Trap play in cinema. Weird, since one came out in 2004, the other came out in 1998. They wouldn't be in the movie theater at the same time. But this is kind of like the 2013 Oz the Great and Powerful playing in the 70s era of Westview. The Incredibles.
But the Incredibles could represent family with superpowers.
Family with superpowers.
And Parent Trap.
It's twins coming back together.
And then it's her trap that she's assembled.
To get their parents to join the show, Magneto.
Powerful playing in the 70s era of Westview. The Incredibles is about a superhero family with powers taken almost directly from the Fantastic Four, but here paralleling this superhero family, the Maximoffs. And the Parent Trap is about twins trying to trick their parents into falling back.
Why didn't
in
my
love.
mind go there?
Kind of the way
Why didn't my mind go there? That makes so much more sense.
These parents of the twins. Pietro tells Wanda,
Okay.
I'm just trying to do my part, okay?
Can't catch them all.
Come to town unexpectedly, create tension with the brother-in-law, stir up trouble with the Rugrats, and ultimately give you grief.
Rugrats!
he did just kind of declare his purpose. He wants to give Wanda the gift of grief. Why? Because I think he feeds on her pain. And then he calls out her accent.
What happened to your accent?
What happened to yours?
Yeah, between Civil War and Infinity War, Wanda's Sokovian accent just kind of went away, though it has started to come back.
This will be your only warning.
I think the lost accent and the sitcoms are connected. Wanda might have spent those 2 years with Vision on the run binging sitcoms, and she might have started emulating the dialect of the character she saw on screen. And it was that time that she is now trying to recreate in this hex. And then Pietro kind of
This whole show was just designed to explain what happened to Wanda's accent.
This is all one big visual representation of her subconscious.
There was all those complaints about what happened to her accent.
Guys, we gotta plug this hole.
We need a whole series just to explain it.
I got shot like a chump in the street for no reason at all, and next thing I know, I heard you calling me.
Yeah, he's really kind of making fun of his own death in Age of Ultron, suggesting this Evan Peters Pietro is not the Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men movies, who would not know what Aaron Taylor Johnson Pietro's dying moments looked like, but rather this might be someone from this universe or beyond this universe who saw that death, but is now okay with mocking that heroic significance. Who does that sound like to you? So Ellis Avenue is kind of the border they're not allowed to go past. Could be a nod to the MCU president, Matthew Ellis, like maybe Westview just named a street after the president. Matthew Ellis was named after Marvel Comics writer Warren Ellis. Ellis could also be a nod to Ellis Island, where in the first X-Men movie, world leaders gathered and were nearly turned into mutants from the nearby Liberty Island, thanks to Magneto, her dad. So we find out that Ward is tracking Vision's vibranium decay. Remember, Vision's vibranium was fused with living cellular tissue. So as that tissue decays, it could cause the vibranium atoms in the cells to radiate out. We see 4 circles in the bottom corner. Maybe those are for the different types of radiation. Maybe they're Infinity Stone related. I doubt it. Not everything multicolored is Infinity Stone. His one girl's costume is probably the late RBG, and Vision decides to revert to his Avengers form, and he uses the Mind Stone to do it. Interesting. It looks as though the further away people get from Wanda and the Hex, the less she's able to puppet them. Though notice, even after Vision reverts, he does keep his wedding ring. Now, Vision does not remember his Avengers history because he
I've always cut that on his
creation of Wanda. He's free from the pain of everything that happened before, and that includes him just seeing himself as a husband to Wanda. But that manifestation does invoke his soul that he had before. That soul was good and truth-seeking, and that's why he ends up questioning this reality and is able to determine it's false. Now notice Agnes's license plate reads,
okay, so the Mind Stone's still real. Okay,
and like not the hex code for the color red. I don't know why people keep saying that. It's like a bluish black shade. I think it is significant because it does alternate 012 ABC. And remember, Vision and Wanda's card in episode 1 was tagged 0102, so it may reflect how Agnes, by comparison, is literate in ways they aren't. But of course, Agnes is dressed as a witch. The latest smoking gun that this is probably Agatha Harkness. There's a lot going on here that's weird. While other glitching residents cannot even talk, they're frozen catatonic, Agnes can. And then after Vision zaps her awake, she still goes by the name Agnes. She doesn't have an alternate identity. It seems like she is more resistant to the the hex may be a product of it, and that is why S.W.O.R.D. cannot identify her. Notice how she clutches her
That'd
chest.
be
She turns
interesting.
around. That's because she's looking for her brooch. If she is a witch secretly serving Mephisto, his soul could have previously been kept in that brooch. That would be her husband Ralph that she won't shut up about. The one who shares an anniversary with her that's the same date as the Salem witch trials. And that maybe now that Mephisto has taken human form, she just feels lost without him. And Agnes says this.
Am I dead? No, no.
You've just reconvinced me.
Dead. 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 Dead.
It does kind of parallel that moment back in episode 3.
Because we're all one.
Hold on a sec. He brought up an excellent point here, which is that Agnes is a little further out, yet she can still talk, where the others are still frozen. This show sold me on the fact that she is, no, she's probably just another character, and all this stuff has been like just misdirect nods for us, like dressing her up as a witch, having us think it's Agatha Harkness, perhaps. That point is very, very good, that she can actually still talk. And I thought this movement was just like, oh, I'm here, I'm still here, I'm not like, I'm back to reality. Yeah. You know, that's what I thought it was, but that's true. The brooch was missing in the last episode when she was in the outfit, when she was taking care of the twins, and with Quicksilver coming back, and then her searching for the brooch would be very specific. You might be right.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been reconvinced Mephisto's gonna be showing up now.
Well, and also, I mean, that does lend credence to the idea that maybe Mephisto's Quicksilver. Like, I don't want it to be in a weird way, at least from where I'm sitting right now. But at the same time, that correlation is yeah.
Oh, that's a really good call. Do other people have alternate names? Oh, it's true. Monica, Geraldine. Yeah, she still went by Agnes.
They all do, yeah.
And if she is not some human or witch put into here, but some product of creating this hexagon.
See, that is a cool concept to me. Is like, who else? You know, if like she was able to create the children in here, who else might she have created and why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, dude, you just reconvinced me.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time, too, that Marvel would kind of tweak the origin or the representation of a classic character or something. Of course. Yeah.
What are you trying to tell me?
She came here because we're all...
Stop it.
Now, in that moment, Herb might have been about to say, because we're all dead, but, you know, the ID wall does suggest Herb is a still living person. It could be that there was some inciting incident that did kill these people in Westview before their deaths were reported, and that now their souls have been resurrected in the Hex. And that would pose some dark implications for the children now in Westview. Did Wanda resurrect a bunch of dead kids to populate Westview? Fittingly on All Hallows Eve, the night dead spirits walk the earth.
It's just all the Sokovian corpses. She's got them all back.
I mean, that seems like a probability.
I could, yeah.
You can see that, but damn, that is a little too bleak to take your character, I'd say. I'd be bold. I'd be down for that. I would be. I just have a hard time believing they would go that far.
It would just be such a big thing to unpack, like
especially for a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, well, especially if there are any concerns about supernatural. I feel like we have to throw that out.
But the thing that would also debunk that a little bit is the fact that Monica was able to go in there, and all those other people, as we saw at the end of the last episodes. You know, like like that's a cool theory, but I don't feel like it just we just should automatically assume that they're all dead.
Well, and I feel like if they were maybe like when Vision wakes up Norm, he would have died or fallen down or something instead of reverting to his own consciousness. I mean, you could still chalk that up to the magic, but at the same time, I feel like that would be a tell.
Monica gets a text from her mystery engineer friend. Now, editor John was able to help me figure this one out. Take a close look at that, zoom in, flip it. I think we can make out a 5-word text. I'm something Hydra? Something. Maybe this engineer has some old Hydra tech that they're gonna use to make that vehicle.
Yeah, really?
Theories on who this person is. Check out this week's episode of Rogue Theory. I think we covered all the options there. So then Darcy tells Monica,
the energy inside has rewritten your cells on a molecular level twice. It's changing you.
yes, this implies Wanda's hex might cause mutations on the DNA level in certain people. Perhaps certain other people in the MCU were born with genetic predispositions that when they are hit with this hex wave cause cause mutations to get activated.
All
And
of
that could be
Westview.
how we get mutants in the MCU.
They are
Monica
the
herself
mutants.
is clearly being set up to become Photon. But her lack of surprise at her blood work and her reaction last week to the doctor suggests to me that Monica might have already been aware of her mutations. So then Pietro asks Wanda about how she knew Westview.
Handle the ethical considerations of this scenario as best you could. Families and couples stay together. Most personalities aren't far from what's underneath. People got better jobs.
You don't think it's wrong?
We kidding? I'm impressed.
Yeah, Pietro knows what these people were like before the Hex to compare it now. And he genuinely wants to know where Wanda got these kids from. Maybe because he is Mephisto and he had to use pieces of his soul to construct these
He
two
is
kids.
awfully
And as we
cool
saw
with
this
it.
last episode, these two are straight up mystified by Wanda's ability to raise the dead, even if it is inside Westview.
You can do that?
Then... So why does Wanda see Evan Peters' Pietro as a corpse the way she saw Vision when this Pietro was not the one who died? Well, I think this Pietro is warping Wanda's perception to further convince her that he is her brother. Because remember, Wanda did not see Pietro die. So he might feel like, I can get in here and trick her. I'm the one who died. I'm your brother. Forget how I look and sound a bit different from who you remember your brother to be. Because remember, as Pietro said earlier, his goal is to give her grief because grief enables gaslighting. Now, Hayward's encrypted file is Project...
Fuck, he's got me. I fully buy it. Damn.
Point.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
Oh.
I don't want it to be.
Oh, damn.
And you know what, though? I mean, if that does turn out to be a Mephisto in disguise or something, it makes this whole debate about, like, where are the X-Men coming from, like, so much more interesting, because you would think, like, oh, Quicksilver, he's here to hail the X-Men. And maybe he's actually not, but they're still gonna do it.
It's like we thought that the misdirect nods might have been about alluding to Mephisto and Agatha Harkness, right? Maybe the misdirect is putting Evan Peters in here
as X-Men,
as the stunt casting, and that actually makes a lot of sense because, yeah, I was under the impression that maybe they had Quicksilver's dead body, Aaron Taylor Johnson's, and then they slammed. But why wouldn't he just come back as Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yeah,
that's the thing that's not
why
made clear
the
to me.
need to confuse her that this guy is the one.
Yeah, why go with a different person's face that hasn't been acknowledged or addressed yet? Because that makes sense. Like, okay, let me come here as this dead body. Let me go into Vision Corps. That way you know that these are the bullet hole wounds of when your brother died, so that way you believe it. That totally feeds into it. And the fact that he does seem like ridiculously content and cool with this whole world makes a lot of sense too. And then wanting to get Vision out of the equation.
Yeah.
But I just can't get past, like, why
Evan Peters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it is just stunt casting to confuse the audience. Damn, but that I am convinced that it can't just be Evan Peters Quicksilver brought over.
Not as cleanly as that.
Oh, shit.
It would have to be something
You got
more
me.
complex.
You got me.
I know.
You changed my mind. Damn.
Cataract. Now, this code name could correspond to vision, as a cataract is when a cloud forms on the eye that decays one's vision. Corpse Vision's eyes are clouded over as Vision decays.
I was a little late to figuring that out.
The names James Gadd, aka Jimmy Gadd, and James Alexander are
They're
more
crew
VFX
members.
artists. We saw Jimmy Gadd in the credits of the last episode. Vision disintegrates as the Hex pulls him back in, though the Mind Stone
Mind
remains
Stone's
intact.
in store.
I think this is because Vision's resurrection came from Wanda's powers, which were derived from the Mind Stone radiation. So as long as this Hex is operational and Wanda is still alive, the projection of the Mind Stone in Vision's head remains, though Vision himself apparently cannot survive outside this Hex. And yes, Vision's erosion.
Wait a minute. So that's the actual Mind Stone? Because, yeah, the Infinity Stones were destroyed. And then America returned the other ones. Yeah. America did.
The whole country.
Captain America returned. The Mind Stone doesn't seem to be evaporating at all. So what, she created a Mind Stone?
Or something,
or like,
I guess.
Just a projection of it is keeping it, because that's not disintegrating at all.
No, and maybe it's got something to do with, like, because she had her powers awakened through the Mind Stone, maybe that is like the purest part of the projected or the reanimated Vision, because they share that, it's crucial to the both of them or something.
Whatever.
What does it mean, Disney?
Yes, Vision's erosion is kind of like this shirt. This is our custom and unusual couple shirt.
Bought
it's
a
filled with
shirt.
Easter eggs that you
Where
can
is
find
it?
via Augmented
I've been
Reality.
waiting a week.
You can get this at newrockstarsmerch.com, and we are doing a special sale this weekend for all you lovers looking to get that special someone a gift. 10% off all New Rockstars products.
What
Just use
the
code
hell?
VisionTime.
Why did I buy
Time
it
to buy
a week
myself.
early?
Screen to show George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
We couldn't figure that out. You were right.
That's my best guess.
The dead to populate Westview. And Pietro says,
It's not like your dead husband can die twice.
another sign of his meta sentience, because Aaron Taylor Johnson Pietro died before Vision did. How would he know that he was dead? But ironically, Vision did die twice already. Once when Wanda blew up the Mind Stone, and then again when Thanos rewound time to rip it out.
Ew.
And that first death that Wanda still feels super guilty over is probably what triggered Wanda's rage. She smashes Pietro through these gravestones. One includes the name Janelle Sammelman, who is an AD for WandaVision. She also worked on the Fantastic Four. The epitaph,
And
though,
is now
a real
dead.
detail. It says, not on her side, which I think is a huge clue, pointing to the fact that Pietro is not on Wanda's side at all. There's also Rebus,
What the
which,
hell?
you know, maybe Pietro's a kind of virus in Westview. Anagrams. Now, Wanda freezes the town. And notice this happens precisely in Night of the Living Dead when the Walker is breaking through the fence. Precisely.
Oh, I love all that right there in the graveyard, because I mean, it wasn't until later on after we were done filming where I realized, like, oh shit, she totally knocked him into the graveyard when I was like looking for a moment for the thumbnail. and I'm like, that's neat, that's clever, you know, wanting him back. That got her brother who died. But these little, I mean, I could totally see how these could be Easter egg clues for sure.
Yeah.
Not her side, virus.
Rest in peace.
This is a graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that is crap.
All signs point to a lot of dead bodies.
Breaking through the fence, precisely as Walking Dead Vision is breaking through the Westview border. And then Wanda's Scarlet Magic bursts out, expanding the Hex. Expansion.
Clever.
It sucks in the Sword Camp, including poor Darcy. I love that Christmas Story edit there. It's something that confused the crap out of me as a kid because I didn't understand meta POV shifts, something that WandaVision uses liberally now. The Sword Camp turns into a circus, with the agents becoming clowns and mimes.
Turns an American Horror Story
within
freak show.
Westview, everything was an
He's just playing Evan
performative
Peters.
TV show. Outside, everything becomes an even earlier form of showbiz and escapism, a big circus tent. And I love how one of these mimes does the invisible wall, because she's now trapped behind an invisible wall of Westview herself. The truck turns into a funnel cake truck, funnel of love. Another reminder that this whole hex was based on Wanda's love for Vision. And the closing shot shows us Wanda's eyes as the scarlet glow fades. You can almost make out the shape of a person in that red glow, especially noticeable on the right eye. Again, I don't really think Wanda is doing this alone. Some other entity is in the shadows, enabling her, the true source of her madness. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVoss. Follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for all your WandaVision questions. Thank you for watching.
Damn, mind blown. Crap.
Mind stone.
I went
mind blown.
I went from it's Mephisto to nah, probably not. They're probably just misdirect nods. Starting off this video with, but you said it, and then going, I don't think so, to crap, I believe him. Dude, that's a damn good court case argument you presented. Guys, this is why New Rockstars is the best.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to them as soon as you can. Check them out on Patreon. Get 10% off that shirt now, damn it. And subscribe to us. Keep a lookout for WandaVision. I just feel so defeated, like crap. Damn it.
I thought I knew. I thought I had the theories all worked out.
You're toying with my heart, WandaVision. Patron of the day shout out.
PJ Pandemic Jones, you know what? WandaVision has been so much fun, but doing these TV shows on the weekends and stuff makes me a little bit miss the live streams. And you were one of the people, I always remember meeting you in those and like having this sort of rolling snowball. You became Pandemic Jones inside of those live streams, and I've been nostalgic for those a lot lately. So I just wanted to shout you out, say what's up, wish you well, and also thank you for sending me that driver's license music video. I got all 45 of your messages about it, and I hope you enjoyed the reaction, because I was quite moved. So much love, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
You rock, buddy. Happy New Year.